Hey everybody, this is Mr. Mike's Art and I am Mr. Mike. Welcome to my channel. Hopefully I can entertain you with some drawings. I'm hoping that's why you found my channel. We can do some drawings, some inks. We can play with art, talk about art, have some fun, and maybe grow. Hopefully I can give you some tips, or you can just enjoy what I do. And please let me know in the comments if you have any ideas on things you would like to see me draw. We can draw together. You can draw while I'm filming me drawing. We can have some fun. Let's do that. Let's just have some fun with art. And gonna let you get on to the video. Y'all take care. Funny story. This is gonna be my second go round on this video. Went and readjusted my camera and forgot to put it into focus to make sure it was really focused. And so I did the whole video, and at the very end I realized I had to put it in focus. How's that feel? That's a fun day, right? That's okay. It's getting to draw, so it's okay. I hope everybody's having a good time. So I've told y'all in other videos that I always start light. I'm not using my normal 4H. I'm using a 2H. You can see right there. I'm doing that so that y'all can see a little better what I'm starting with. So you can see the lines better. Now it's better for the camera. It's not really better for me, but it's better for the camera. So you can see how I'm just creating shapes and kind of going from there. And you know, you're just feeling it out. You're trying to get it looking right on paper for you. You know what I mean? You're not worried about, and use a soft hand. Use a soft hand on this. Because if you don't, you can't go back over it. It will scar the paper, and you might not have everything where you want it. And trust me, if you use that light hand, you're gonna be much better off. Because as you can see, I'm already having to redo a bunch of my lines already. And again, second time I've drawn this, and little stitch. That looks about right. You don't have to erase. I'm just doing it out of, it just kind of drives me nuts sometimes. Because and most of my drawing, I've never been one to do the whole, all the crazy lines and stuff you see, the form building you see people do. I've never been one to do that, so they kind of drive me nuts. But that's my OCD thing. That's just me. That's me being OCD. And you know, he's got these little scrape. He's a scrapper, so he's got little chunks here and there, just like a dog that's been in a bunch of fights, or a cat that's been in a bunch of fights. All right, there we go. We've basically got our outline of him. Now I'm going to jump. Let's go to an H. Here, let's, I'm going to do this kind of sketchy. I'm not going to try to make this real smooth. But I'm going to do all my gradations. And like I've told y'all before with pencils, you're going to slowly build. You don't want to overdo it. Let's go this way with this, just like the other here. Oh! Boo boo. Boo 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 boo. I touched it with the wrong side of the pencil. And if anybody's wondering about the paper, this is just regular old copy paper right off my printer. I don't worry too much about trying to do fancy paper. I've got some nice sketchbooks, but paper should not be the reason you draw well. It should be technique. It should just be being used to using the pencil. Any paper should be able to do it. And you don't need to worry yet about making your lines perfect. The only reason I'm doing a little erasing is because I've had some lines in the wrong place. And I needed to fix that. And go from there. And so I'm fading his chin up. Just like that. And then we know this is going to be dark. So I can just kind of get that started. So that's his big old nose right there. And then we've got to fade his eye down. So hopefully if you're doing this, you've got a picture of Stitch in front of you that you're using as a reference. And so, granted, this is not in color. So I'm shading it different than maybe you would if you're plan on doing this in color. And I'm allowing myself to cross hatch a little bit here. I'm not big on cross hatching, but it's okay. A change of direction doesn't hurt nobody. I would love to have some music on here for y'all to listen to while I'm drawing, but you know, copyrights and all that stuff. They'll flag my videos real quick. You know, I'd love to have some of my favorite music going in the background, whether it was classic rock or some gospel music or even some bluegrass going on. Love me some bluegrass. Well, I like me some good Christian music too, but I also like me some of the old metal. Like some metal. So I'm going to make his neck a little darker, even though we're going to fade it out. And he's going to have kind of a different look on his mouth because, well, just because. I need to leave a little bit of a light spot on the top of this nose because the light's coming from a different direction. This is where you're going to start darkening up. Anything that's darker, you want to put a little more emphasis on that. And we're not inking, but even though we're not inking, we are going to outline this with a good sharp dark pencil. And we are not into the dark pencil yet. But now would probably be a decent time. So first I need to fix this nose. Let's get that light spot on that nose. Then let's make sure we're on the round part of our pencil. The good part. Did I switch? No, that's HB. Here, let's go to a B. Let's go to a B because I got a good rounded tip on that B. I'm trying to create some direction with my lines. Not a lot, but a little. Man, I hope y'all are having a good day. I hope y'all are having some fun. Hope I'm finding y'all in a good mood. And if you're not in a good mood, I hope I'm helping you out to cheer up. I hope life is treating you well. I've recently found out that I do not have cancer. And that's always a bonus. I hope none of y'all have anything like that going on. I hope y'all are all well. Blessed by God. Yeah. I don't know about y'all. You may not have this yet, or you might, but man, I used to could just sit for hours and draw. It brought me comfort. And I have to be careful not to draw at night, because if I start drawing, especially anything creative that I have made versus like Stitch, he's not my creation. So, it's not really, doesn't really have the same effect. But if I'm drawing something or painting something, and I gotta be careful, even drawing something like Stitch, that at night, it will straight up wake me up where I can't go to sleep. I'll get hung up on an idea. The juices will start flowing. And when that idea comes up, I'm like, man, it's over. I can't get it out of my head. And if I don't get it on paper, I just, man, I won't be able to go to sleep. So I try to, as I get older, I'm trying to relegate that more to morning hours. You may not have that issue, but that's something I've experienced. Is I gotta be really careful when I'm using those juices, because they will sure enough wake me up, because I'll get some kind of idea, and if I don't get it down, might even be a story idea, but I have to get it down. And if I don't, life is not good, because it will drive me nuts. All right, now we're going to get into some of our line work. Anybody notice any of this blue tape on my desk? That blue tape is to help me make sure I'm in frame. Because when you're drawing and looking at this paper, you can't really look at a camera, So you don't really know where you're at in that camera. There's some of those ear chunks that are missing, because he's a little wild man. So here in a minute, we're going to change up. We're going to do some line variation. So that we can create. Ooh, this pencil's starting to get just a little bit too dull, and it does not look like I have a sharp enough one. So let me sharpen this real quick. Got to get a point back on it. Not a lot of point, just an edge, you know. I don't need it to be a point. I just need an edge where because I need to be able to do that. See how it got too soft? There we go. I almost want to create an ink effect. Because after all, he is a cartoon. However much we would like him to be real, he's a cartoon. And so all I'm doing is trying to make some of this stuff a little more visible. Fun little guy. Alright, now get rid of that because I'm about to start doing some other stuff. Here we go. Let's create some line variation and fill in some of that black. And this is where you're going to find out if you've scarred the paper or not. If you've scarred the paper, this is definitely when you're going to find out. So let's get to 6B ready. Because I'm pretty sure I don't have a sharp edge on that. It's like kind of like sharpening a knife. I don't know if y'all can see that point, but it's got a point on it now. So we want to create line variation. Otherwise, he just looks bland. So at the near the bottoms is where you're going to end up with a fatter line. And it should taper. And then anything forward should be bolder and fatter than the ones in the back. Okay? But basically down here at the bottom you would start just like that. The bottom needs to look heavier, so it's going to be a fatter line. Just like that. It's really rare that the top of your object would carry more weight than the bottom of the object. And some of this that I'm talking about comes from the idea of comics, the idea of great illustrators. There's some great illustrators out there that y'all can check out. If you ask me in the comments about great illustrators, I will put some of them, I will reply to you personally. I will reply and tell you some people you can check out. People that are amazing illustrators that use line. And my hand is not what it used to be at 50 years of age. Of course, I do have a camera in my way. That's all just excuses, though. Just not as smooth as I once was. But maybe if I'm getting back to it like I should, maybe it'll come back. And so I advise any of you that if you're using, when you're coming in doing the first shading and those first lines, I advise you not to press hard, because when you're coming over it with this darker pencil, any of those crazy scratch marks, you're going to see them. Oh, time to fix the pencil. Now with some of the ink, it's easier to do these line variation, like with what do you call it? Like a calligraphy ink pen. And this would probably be a little easier on me if I actually had a pencil sharpener handy. But I don't. And you know what we're missing? We're missing some gnarled up skin. We're missing the tops of the eyebrows. All right. Definitely got to get my pencil sharpener out. Now, I need a sharper pencil than that. Let's go with this one. You also have to learn as an artist sometimes just to accept something as finished, because if you're not careful, you could probably just sit there and play with it forever, even to the point where you're like, oh, I messed up, you know. There you go. A good stitch.